From two hit reality TV shows about dance to hip-hop exercise classes, there seems to be a new golden age of dance in pop culture. Well, hoping to bottle this fascination with dance is Dance Jam. It's a new social networking site founded by MC Hammer, Jeffrey Aroni, and Anthony Young. My interview with them is coming right up. Gentlemen, welcome to VatorTV.
Welcome. Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Hammer, the two of you came together to start this community devoted to dancers and dancing, which is apparently a pretty big community. What is it about our culture that's driving this enthusiasm for dance?
Well, you know, historically, dance has always been a benchmark for all things in pop culture for the last 70 years. So if you go all the way back to, you know, the 20s and 30s and the 40s, from Ginger Rogers and Fred Astaire to the Nicholas Brothers to Elvis and his dance, and you know, throughout the 60s, Chubby Checker and the Twist. Every time a dance came along, it kind of marked an era, and that continued on through the 60s. The most Motown style of dancing and the songs that were inspired by Motown and the dances that were inspired by the music. And then, of course, the late 60s, mid-60s, James Brown and his style of dancing, and significant dances like the Mashed Potatoes and things like that. And on into Michael Jackson, Jackson 5 in 68, 69, introduced another style of dancing that was choreographed with a street edge to it. And then, of course, in the 70s, around funk music, a whole new style emerged, pop dancing, you know, later on, which breaking would come out of that, and on into the 80s, people like Madonna and Paula Abdul, Janet Jackson, and MC Hammer, and whole lot of people. You know, so dancing is dancing. If you do a dance, it automatically marks a period of time in your life. And that has continued, and finally, it's not the dance certainly emerged, but Hollywood finally caught up with dancing. It was already there. It's always been there.
It's always been there.
Always been there.
And Jeffrey, there's a lot of statistics that show that people are just really fascinated with dance. I mean, if you look at the videos on YouTube, you and I were talking earlier, they're pretty much the most viewed videos.
Yeah, it was funny so I was an entrepreneur in residence over at Bessemer Ventures, and Anthony and I this is even before we connected with Hammer, we were looking at some societal cues, because our goal was to create a social media destination to understand how people were interacting with media. And we were looking for folks that were very self-expressive, but didn't necessarily have a place online to congregate. And dance just kept popping up no matter where we went. So we went to YouTube, and in April I actually shotted this. We knew that the evolution of dance was the #1 most viewed video of all time, worldwide. But it turns out that...
How many views was that?
Oh,
billions.
it's I mean, if you combine all the various sources, it's over 100 million views now. But the individual video has 60-something million on YouTube. But 6 out of the 8 all-time most viewed videos on YouTube at that point were dance videos. Also, since April, when you just searched for dance on YouTube, there were 500,000 videos. Now there's over 1.5 million. So since then, it's actually tripled. In music, 75% of the Billboard Top 20 on any given week is actually pure dance music. And on television, obviously, there's Dancing with the Stars, So You Think You Can Dance, America's Got Talent, Pants Off, Dance Off, and many new shows emerging.
Well, your son, Jeffrey Jr., certainly has talent. So is something, I mean, does music or dance run in the family? Is this a business transaction for you, or deep down inside, did you really want to be a dancer?
My family has a long history of, you know, a tradition of both dance and music, and it came to an abrupt end with me. I have some musical background, but I've always loved dancing. I love watching dance. It's just, it doesn't translate from the mind to the hips very well, which is part of the reason why I felt that Dance Jam made a lot of sense, and in particular why I thought it would be great to partner up with Hammer. Dance sites, what we found is a lot of sites out there cater just to dancers. They cater just to one need. What we're trying to do is create a social media destination that allows people to be entertained first and foremost, to participate on a level that they feel comfortable with. So if you want to participate by uploading your own video and becoming famous or trying to compete and become famous, you can. But maybe you just want to go on the site, register, and watch other videos and rate other videos. If you don't want to become a star, at least be involved in the star-making process. And also, you might just be excited about all things dance, the community, the culture, the lifestyle, the music, and we introduce a lot of opportunities as well to interact with dancers.
Well, I want to talk about the killer apps, like the features that you've created that you think will really drive usage. But first, let's just back up a bit and tell Hammer. Maybe you can talk and share the story. Talk a bit about how you two, or actually the three of you. Anthony's not here, but how the three of you came together to pull this idea together.
Well, we were connected by Bessemer, venture capitalist, probably about 7 months ago now. I had gotten an email from Bessemer about 16 months ago, and they had heard about me having some concepts for some social communities and some ideas through some strategics that happen to know both of us. And they emailed me through my general blog, through MC Hammer, the MC Hammer blog. So I was looking through my emails, I saw it, found them, pretty interesting for them to come through a general site. So I met them in New York. I flew out to New York. We had breakfast, and I talked about 2 or 3 ideas I had for communities, and dance was one of them. And about 8 months later, they sent me an email and suggested that Jeffrey and I have a meeting. And Anthony came to the meeting, but they really had initially mentioned Jeffrey. And we all met at the Cheesecake Factory right there in Palo Alto. And over the next course of about 4 hours, when we both decided that a lot of our ideas overlapped, we had about an 85% overlap in the ideas that we had. We decided to go ahead and co-found the company together, and we all the 3 of us co-founded the company right there at the Cheesecake Factory.
Yeah. So it was pretty funny because I wasn't 100% sure what Bessemer was expecting, because as I mentioned, I was an EIR there, and I approached them and said, I have this great idea. And when I told them, no one was expecting dance, not even close. But one of the guys there that actually had met with Hammer, or knew one of the associates that had met with Hammer out east, said, oh, wait a minute, Hammer was talking about this. So that's why when Hammer mentioned, we actually met for 4 hours, and it was the funniest meeting at the Cheesecake Factory, because first 15 minutes, Anthony and I were just like, we're at the Cheesecake Factory with Hammer, and like hoping our friends would call, so we'd be like, hey, we're here with Hammer.
Yeah,
After that, we started talking about the idea, and then there was like this kind of suspicion growing, like Hammer's like, wait a minute, that's my idea. And we were like, wait a minute, Hammer, that's what we were planning on doing. So it took a good half an hour before we were comfortable enough saying, wait a minute, we're actually talking very much about the same idea, and there's 75–85% overlap. And so by the end of the first hour, we were a team, and then we spent the next 3+ hours getting well caffeinated and planning out the company.
A lot of napkins, and ideas at that point.
It starts off as a napkin idea, but it's pretty much launched, or at least in beta. So talk a little bit about some of the killer apps. What are your 3 killer apps features on the site?
So again, the 3 activities that we want to make sure that we really cater to are, number 1, get entertained. Number 2, become a star or be involved in the star-making process. And number 3, meet people. So we have this this display here, and I actually want to show, like, right from the beginning, we're profiling as many dances as possible. So this is one dance style called bucking, and you'll see right at the top, people can either watch and vote or upload. If you choose watch and vote, you can actually go in and watch a competition. So here
Now, is this someone who just uploaded his video?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So this is an uploaded video.
And he entered a competition, or are all of them in a competition?
So he submitted a video to the bucking competition, and as I watch, I can give stars that correspond to good moves. So I see something I like, I'm like, all right, cool. And I can continue to throw up to 5 stars at this particular user, and then move forward as I see other people whose videos I want to watch.
Now, how do you do the slow motion thing? You were able to do that, right?
This is how content gets fed through the system, and we can continue to rate. Now, one thing that we're doing is, as people submit content, we're curating it as well. So it's not just about the here and now of a competition, but over time we want you to be able to look at a video, say, and the best videos will continue to rise to the top. So you were asking about some of the key features here. Now dancers want to be able to look at this video and say, oh wow, how did this person do that? We can actually slow-mo the video, which is a feature that you don't see on very many websites.
Just by clicking on the icon, the turtle icon there, it slows it down.
So from an instructional perspective, it allows us to learn. I can go back to full motion, and I can say, wait a minute, how did he do that? So we have a jump back feature,
like
again, built into our
3-second
player.
jump back. The really cool thing about that is that when you get into more complicated movement, you get into some of the power dance styles.
Yeah.
When you put them in the slow motion, you can really see the physicality of a move and the strength that it takes to execute some of the moves and even some of the finesse dance moves.
When did you launch the beta? How many weeks into it? And how many videos do you have now?
So we have probably a couple of thousand videos total right now. We're still seeding the site, making sure that the videos actually belong to the right users.
How are you seeding it?
We're just slowly.
Are there videos of you dancing? Is that it?
No, my son, yes. Me, no. Not yet. I still am going to cash in on some dance lessons from Hammer.
It's all son driven, right? I got my son on there dancing somewhere.
So it's interesting, when I logged onto your site, I noticed that you have a webcam feature. And how useful is that? I mean, how many people are using a webcam to capture themselves or film themselves dancing?
There's a couple uses, but Jeffrey will expound on, but there's a couple uses.
Right.
Capturing video and also video shouts. But you
Right. So what we're doing is we're allowing users to really customize their profile. So if you look here, I'm on the Dance Jam profile where we get our mini feed. We have our favorites and our fans, so users will also have their fans. And you can customize this quite a bit. Now what we've done is we've replaced regular photo IDs for people with actual talking shouts. So as you mouse over any user, now what we can do to change that, you click change this, and I can either record or upload an image. So
And
if I
how many
click
people are
record,
doing that? Every single video, or every single member has chosen to create one of those videos?
yeah, so ultimately,
That'll be the goal, to get everybody, to encourage everyone as we go along to create a video profile. It's a lot better. I mean, you're used to stagnant avatars, pictures, no life, but to have a video shout, I mean, everybody wants the latest. They want the latest, and that definitely is the latest.
So let's talk a little bit about your role, Hammer. So ABC's Dancing with Stars draws about 20 million viewers, and Fox has. So you want to be a dancer.
So you think you can?
So you think you can dance?
About 10 million. ABC's strategy is to have a celebrity, always to have celebrities, and that seems to be drawing a larger audience. What is Dance Jam's strategy? Are you the only celebrity? Will we see more celebrities? Is this a hybrid?
So there's several answers to that. My initial role was, obviously there is no celebrity involved with making sure that the interactions and the authenticity and of dance is correct, and the things that are around the environment of dance, the culture of dance. Secondly, having to do with integrating Dance Jam into the actual dance community that currently exists, from choreographers to hot dancers in various markets throughout the country, already have that built-in network. And so the actual integration of Dance Jam from web to offline was a very important part of what I'm doing. But going forward, ABC and shows like that obviously use celebrities for their brand, and the brand has a built-in fan base, and that fan base helps to get viewers to the network. This is more about the actual community that love dance. My role, my brand will help obviously at some point you know, other people to come in, other celebrities to upload as well. But the main focus of this is the community, not so much celebrity driven. There will be celebrities, and there are other celebrities that will upload their videos, but it's about the real community, actual people that love to dance, the everyday person, because that's, you know, that's the bulk of your audience. There's not that many celebrities.
You'll be doing a couple of features a week, or a couple of dances a week?
Of celebrities,
no, of you yourself. You'll be on the
no,
site
it's not.
sometimes?
No, it's not hammer driven to that extent. It's really about the people. The people are competing in contests. The people are getting opportunities to be seen by other choreographers. The person who choreographs Justin Timberlake, the person who choreographs Destiny Child, the person who's working with Omarion right now. These are all choreographers who came from under my wing over the years. And by the way, I shouldn't say choreographing, but some of the dancers with Justin Timberlake. And so they'll all be uploading their profiles and their work, and they're also looking for dancers all the time, for movies, for tours. So you get to be a part of a community that's very real, that's connected to, that has an upside, and that's part of, you know, what I you know, bring to the table. So it's not really about, it's Hammer doing a contest every week, but it's about the whole community. It's about Dance Jam.